Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where I discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I am Tanika, and today we are going... Sorry if you guys can't hear me. I'm a dum-dum, put my mic too far away. But yeah, Reality Tea Times 2. We're talking about trash. Hi. Sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, so we're going to be talking about lovers and liars today. Before we do, I'm going to do a quick little synopsis of the last episode of Maths. Thank the fucking gods it's over. And then we'll do just a couple pieces of hot goss, to round it out, and then we will go into lovers and liars. So first and foremost, Maths. Like I said, happy it's over. I came out of this liking the men even more than I already did, in comparison to the women. The only woman I do like is Chloe and Becca. I think even though Becca is a part of this weird cult-like behavior group that they have, I think she seems to be pretty level-headed in comparison to the others. And I think Chloe, again, she's just way better than anyone there personally, even the men. And like Austin's roommate kind of said, I feel like you're a lot more mature than everyone else. And that is true. She is. I mean, my girl's almost 40. Like, she's not going to be up into this nonsense that some of these women are doing. So, the main takeaway from this was that the Tweedledum, Tweedledoo, and the other idiot, and I'm talking about Emily, Lauren, and Claire, are the biggest problems in this season. I had no clue that they were a part of talking shit about Chloe. I had no clue about that. They want to talk about women, empowering women, yet they're not empowering one of the women in their ranks, one of the women from their season. And it's very frustrating to see that. It feels very it's two-faced. That's exactly what it is. And it makes me hate them even more. And honestly, out of all of them, Emily, I can't stand her. I had issues with her initially. I really can't stand her. Lauren, I felt like she rubbed me the wrong way initially as well. There was something about her. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. But this whole thing about, her reasons for why Chloe and her aren't friends, having to do with her friending Michael on Instagram or whatever, it's absolutely bullshit and it's bogus, and I don't believe a fucking word that came out of Lauren's mouth during that whole thing. It makes absolutely no logical sense that Chloe would be upset because he's friends with her on Instagram. I don't know about anyone and listening to this, but I feel like half of the people you have quote unquote friends on your Facebook or Instagram or whatever else are people you don't actually talk to on a day-to-day basis anyways. You probably know them from some point in your life, but you're not necessarily friends with them or talk to them on a daily basis. So it seems absolutely ridiculous to me. And again, to Lauren's point, you and Michael knew each other before Chloe made it there. Chances are you guys were probably already friends on social media or whatever, but you guys were friends before. And I just don't see her getting mad about that. They're not together. I just don't understand why she would waste her energy being mad because her ex-husband is friends with someone else on the show. It just doesn't make any sense. And I believe a fucking word that girl said at all. Like, absolutely none of it made sense. And then also kind of being like, well, I was friends with him first. She fucked him and you didn't. Like, if you want to use tit for tat situation, you know what I mean? She married him, you didn't. guess what? Your friendship with him would trump the whole thing, honestly. Like, or sorry, his marriage to her would trump everything else. So that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical. But the other part of it too is the women getting these matching tattoos, which were fucking hideous. Even though they were tiny, they were fucking hideous. The concept of it, so stupid. And yeah, it again just felt so culty. Felt again like the pink dress situation. It's just so stupid. The whole thing. And yeah, I just wasn't about it, any of it. My last words for this is I give that group, the women, that group of friends, a year max before they start falling apart. Because they will fall apart. Toxicity in friendships like that is going to fall apart. You don't become friends like that and be on such a high, and you all have these goals with each other to hate the men. You don't have goals like that in a friendship and it have no repercussions later on in life. This doesn't happen. It's just not logical. We kind of see Becca wants to move on. Lauren already moved on. And you see Claire wanting to move on too. And Emily she ain't there yet. She's not ready to move on yet. And when you even have these people telling you it's time to move on and they won't, that says quite a bit about the about her. But yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't like Emily. She's the worst of all of them. She's very egotistical at the very least. Hearing her in her therapy session just felt like I wanted to punch my screen. And I'm pretty over it. And I'm happy the season is over. I never want to see a single person from the season again, unless it's Chloe or Michael, or even Austin, or even Becca. The others I don't care for. I can take or leave them. Cameron's okay, but I honestly, I'm taking it or leave it, honestly. But that's it. Those are my parting words from this last episode. I have nothing more to contribute. I was pretty over it at the point we did the reunion. So yeah, but that's that. Let's move on to just doing a couple pieces of hot goss and then we'll head into Lovers and Liars. So a new fan video posted on Reddit by someone by Reddit name SV Catchin Rays 2 revealed that St. David yacht was passing through the Simpson Bay Bridge in St. Martin on April 28th of this year. The video showed the crew working on the boat while a fan called out the names of Captain Carey and Fraser. So they'll be returning. Both of them acknowledged fans with waving at them. Although the return of both Captain Carey and Fraser has now been confirmed for Below Deck Season 12, it does remain unclear who else could be joining the crew. Some Reddit users have speculated that Sunny might be returning based on a hat she's been seen wearing during Season 11, with a Reddit user by the name of Brilliant Questions 92 saying, quote, I think that's Sunny at the front of the boat. That hat looks like the one she's using this season. So if you remember, it's kind of like that brown hat that, yeah, I know which hat. I'm sure anyone who listens to Below Deck or watches Below Deck probably knows which hat it is. So yeah, they clocked that. Even though there's been no confirmation on who may be joining the cast for Below Deck Season 12, or too soon out to figure that out, there are some faces that fans are hoping to never see again, and I think we all know who the fuck that is. That is Ben. We never want to see Ben again. Let's move on to the next piece of hot goss, and then we'll head into Lovers and Liars. So sometimes a routine shopping trip can lead to meeting someone very special, and that is what Susan from The Golden Bachelor has told us. So on her podcast that she hosts with Kathy, which is called Bachelor Happy Hour, Golden Hour, Susan brought up going on a couple of dates with a man that she met at Marshall's, of all places. She said, quote, he bought a new house and he was going to get some things he needed and he has to take a selfie. Recognizing Susan, I'm assuming. She's like, I can't go grocery shopping without somebody recognizing me. And this is Philly, the city of brotherly love. We all know everybody here. So that's what that's been up to. So I wish her all the happiness because, again, I've made it very clear how much I love Susan. And yeah, but let's head into the reason that we are here. Lovers and Liars, Season 1, Episode 4, Call Me Toxic. So Casey is starting to figure out Camilla is an F girl. Because all she wants to do is make out with him. She also did with Ben. Anyway, she just gets, can't read my handwriting. But anyways, she just doesn't Call Me Toxic, which is the name of the episode. But here comes Casey, and Camilla, because this is the next day doing dates and stuff like that. Casey's coming. Camilla's like, I want to fuck him. But he is taking Hannah on a date. And with him taking Hannah on a date, she's like, he just gets less hot to me. And she says this to everyone in the room. This comes back later. So on the date, they're going to play some baseball. If anyone remembers, which I sure as hell fucking didn't, he likes baseball. So they go to first base on the actual first base. And Casey needs to stop telling people that he loves them because he tells Hannah that he loves her the same way that he did with, who did he do that with? Was it Camilla? Or Camille? I keep saying Camilla. That's why I'm so confused. Why did I write Camilla? Camille. Anyways, scratch everything I was saying before. Camille. Lord of mercy. Anyways, I feel like it doesn't feel right in my mouth. Anyway, they connect on the fact that they both love their moms, and her mom was a single mom, and she was an only child, so, they have that connection, and he says that he really likes Hannah, so it's great. Camille says that she is a narcissist, no fucking shit, knew that from a while ago, and yeah, so anyways, Hannah is talking about their date her date with Casey, saying, the first base thing. And Camille, she says, well, weird. That's first base? Because for me, first base is kissing. Or, sorry, not kissing. Sex. For her, first base is having sex. And I'm just like, yeah, that checks out too. And here comes Benny, and he's going to be picking someone for his date. And he is taking Lauren. Don't know who Lauren is right now because I can't remember. But she was that pretty girl with long black hair, right? I think that's who she was. And he does worry that she's just too perfect. Maybe she's an F girl. We never know. We will know. But anyways, he wonders if she is a nice girl, and all that. And sorry, he says, like, he's wondering if she's a nut girl because he says, if she is a nice girl, listen, you can have the whole $10 in my account because he wouldn't be expecting that. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so her dad was a rock star, the whole sex, drugs, and alcohol thing. And she knew she couldn't have like that regular father-daughter relationship with him because of it. And she also mentions that her brothers are autistic. They are on the spectrum. So they kind of, it's just a lot of depth to her in this. But then they kiss while eating some bread. And we cut out of the scene with Italian music. Because, of course, when we're talking about bread, there has to be Italian music. Anyway, so Danny is the one that's into CJ. And she's the one, I think, did the damsel in distress thing with him. I can't remember. But anyways, that doesn't fucking matter right now because apparently we just found out that Danny and Casey are fucking friends. They have been friends for 10 fucking years. And you're like, oh shit, we got a mole in the house. We got a mole in the house. When they find out she's a fucking mole, they're going to lose her fucking mind. They don't find out yet. I don't know how it didn't come out. But anyways. So yeah, they've been friends for 10 years. She tells Casey, listen, Camille is bad news. She says that she will make friends. And then she'll talk about those people behind their back. Yeah, she does. Again, that's not surprising to me at all. And she tells him, she also says that she talked pure shit about him earlier as well. This is what Danny tells him, that Camille talked pure shit about him about he gets less hot every time I see him or some shit like that. And I do have a theory, and I think Camille kind of lets the theory out a little bit. That still doesn't change my thought process that she's an F-girl. But anyway, he is pissed. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go talk to Camille now. And so Casey goes to talk to her, and everyone can tell that he's pissed off. And she can tell that he's pissed off. And he says, listen, I hear you don't like me. So why the fuck? You know what I mean? And everyone thinks that you're an F-girl. And she says, you don't know me. I'm here because I'm genuine. No. Abort. And he says, I spoke to Danny. Throwing Danny under the bus. And Camille's like, but she doesn't like me. And she's like, I want to have sex with you. Like, that equates me being a nice girl. And he's like, what? He's like, it's not just about sex for me. I mean, thank you. Appreciate that. But it's not just about that. And he leaves and says, fuck, she's good. And she's crying. And she's saying, I'm telling him the truth and he doesn't believe me. Girl, I don't believe you either. Sorry. I know anyone who knows who Camille is isn't going to believe you. So Camille at this point confronts Danny and she says, I said he was sexy. You said that in your head, girl. You didn't use your head voice inside your head to then say that because you said the opposite to the women. You did say that to us when he came. But then to the women, you said that he wasn't. Every time you see him, it gets less and less. I'm confused. So Camille says, I'm not telling anyone that I like him because it could sabotage me, and they are now currently sabotaging me. So this is my theory. I do think she likes him. I do think the reason, and she said this earlier, I do think the reason that she's taking this approach of, I'll take him or I can leave him, because it is her way of protecting herself. She's trying to protect herself from being hurt by him or having potentially providing ammunition to any of the women to use against her. I do think that the one thing that I'll say about Camille, do I think she's an F girl? I do. I definitely do. Thought that from before. But I do also think Camille's the kind of person that has to get ahead of anything before she herself gets hurt. The one thing that I'll give her from season 10 is I do think she liked Ben. I do think she actually genuinely liked him. But I have to hurt you before you hurt me. That is the way Camille operates. And I see her doing it here too. Differently, but she's doing it here too. So, yeah, so that's what she's doing. But, ultimately, because of that, they are she is sabotaging herself by saying anything, I guess. CJ's here. And he says, Casey, this is the next day, sorry. So Casey is in a better mood now. You just had to throw that out there. Thanks, CJ. But CJ is going to be taking India on a date. And they are on like a swan. And then it becomes a freaking horror movie because they're pedaling into some bushes. But back at the house for a second, Camille says, y'all acting like we all love each other, but we all talk shit about each other. She says, Mia was talking shit. Mia then says, okay, I'm tagged in. And she's like, yeah, I heard you say he was sexy with his hat backwards. She did say that. I forgot about that. But I also heard you talk shit. She's like, it could have been a joke. Might not have been a joke. I don't fucking know. But you said it. And Camille says, you could, just lower your voice. And Maria's like, you could just lower your attitude. And the one thing about Camille through both of these interactions is she's like, you don't know me. You don't know me. Stop. I'm like, you fucking know me because you don't know me. You don't fucking know me. You don't know me. And then all the women are like making fun of her. They're like, you don't know me. You don't know me. And she's like, they go to her in the moment, tears rolling down her face. And like, you don't know me. Okay. You don't fucking know me. I'm gonna have a bitch fit. Okay, done. Let's move back onto the date. India says that she used to actually date a woman. And unfortunately, her ex cheated on her. And because of that, she has a lot of trust issues. And I said, definitely understand that. Yeah. So we're now at the mixer. Benny goes to Camille and says, are you treating Casey right? I got problems with you now because you ain't treating him right. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, Benny, stop it. Anyway, Casey talks to Victoria and he tells her, take your walls down. And he kisses her. And Danny says to Camille, did you need to say something to us, after all of this nonsense? And Camille does actually apologize. Wow. Such progress. But she does apologize and she says, I apologize for calling you a bitch. It came from a place of anger. Okay, yay, this is over. Right? Right? I don't know. We'll see. Mia goes to talk to CJ and Elizabeth and Benny are talking. And honestly, with this girl, with Elizabeth, because here comes Jan Danielle. And we all know Jan Danielle's an F girl, so, she's trying to sabotage people. But Elizabeth says nothing. Not a fucking shit. And she's like, okay, I'm going to go now. I'm going to go. I'm going to leave you. I'll leave. It's so fine. Say something. Tell this bitch to leave. And he was waiting for it. He was waiting for her to say something, and she wasn't. Say something, bitch. Say something. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Because he, spoiler alert, gives up on her. Anyway. And then Camille, out of fucking nowhere after she just apologized to people, brings the shit back up and is starting more shit again. And I think it was Danny's like, wait, I thought we resolved this. Why are we talking about it again? I'm not even going into more because Camille is spiraling. That's what's happening. She thrives on the spiral. Anyway. But it doesn't matter because just in the nick of time, here comes Nikki to say, it's not elimination time. This shit's over. So we're there. Let's run through this. So Benny's bottom two is Elizabeth and Jocelyn. CJ's bottom two is Mia and Sinead. I think that's her name. Can't remember now. Casey's bottom is Victoria and Camille. So Jocelyn, you're here because, it feels flirty and friendly, but there's nothing, of substance there. Elizabeth, every time we talk, it's a threesome, my girl. It's a fucking threesome. What the fuck? In her defense, she was talking to him before Jan Danielle just inserted her fucking self. Anyways, But she can't even defend herself. She can't even say shit. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's when you literally say, bitch showed up out of nowhere. I was talking to you. What the fuck you talking about? Anyways, let's move on. Nisa Shen. I can't remember her name because I literally wrote it so badly I can't even say it. CJ says it feels like you're more like a hype girl, not a girl who wants to actually like build a relationship here. Mia says, to Mia, he says, you got here late. I need you to try more for me, you know. Victoria, Casey says, is you know, them walls, girl. You need to bring them down, you know? Victoria says, well, if you're going to pick an F girl over me, well, then you know, you're gonna get your heart broken. That's fine, though. So the three women that are going home is Elizabeth, Shanisa, I think that's her name, Shanisa and Victoria. Okay? Those are our girls. Victoria is a nice girl. Well, I'm not surprised by that. Elizabeth is also a nice girl. How could she not be a nice girl? She's so fucking weird she'd be incapable of being an F girl. She doesn't have enough swagger to be an F girl. Anyways, she's a nice girl. Elizabeth at this point, when she should have said her piece to Benny before, decides to say it fucking now. And I don't even know what the fuck she said. I didn't even write it down. But she's just talking and talking and talking and talking. Okay, Shanice, no, she's not done. She's still talking. Like, it was ridiculous. This is what you should have been saying in a more compressed version before he eliminated your ass. The fuck? So weird. Anyway, Shanisa, what about you? Well, I think no surprise to anybody, she's an F girl. She says, I am so good. I got a couple on my roster. So she's fine. But yeah, that is basically it for Lovers and Liars. So next time on, which I think we probably already watched because I think this comes out tonight. It's tonight actually. So as I'm recording this, social media time. It's the best part of the episodes. Social media. Because it just fucks shit up. And Camille's ready to leave. But that's basically it for Lovers and Liars for this week. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. Every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2 at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there. And you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, .podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Week Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.